Hi guys, this is Maria with the Bead Club Lounge. Today we're going to be going through basic flat herringbone stitch. So if you've never done herringbone before, this is a great tutorial for you. I'm just going to go through the very basic steps in how to create a strip of herringbone. And I want to thank you guys who have helped me with my survey so far. Thank you very much for taking the time out to do that. I really appreciate it. And those of you who haven't done the survey and are interested, I'll leave the link in the description box below, along with all my social media links. So you can follow me and we can have a great time on social media. You can get to know me a bit better. I can get to know you. And I want to encourage you, if you ever make any of my projects, please tag me on Instagram or Facebook, and I'd love to see what you've made. Or, even if you just want to tag me for something that I didn't show you, I'd love to see it as well. I just love to see what you guys are up to. So let's get into today's project. For today's project, you're going to need 2 colors of size 8 seed beads and your size 10 needle with a comfortable length of beading thread. We're going to get started with a ladder stitch. So we're going to pick up 4 of our first color, and I'm going to slide them down, leaving a tail, and we're going to just go back through the first 2 of our beads here and just hold on to them so they don't fall off the end of your thread. And when you pull it tight, you have the tail coming out of the bottom part and your working thread coming out of the top of the beads to the left. So then we're going to take our needle down through that next column of beads, and we're going to pull that down. And then we're going to pick up 2 of our next color, and our working thread is coming out of the bottom of the second column of beads. So we are going to go through the top of that second column. And when we do that, that is going to set our second color of beads right next to our first one. Then we're going to take our needle up through that third column of beads and pull. And we're going to repeat that with our second color of beads. So now our thread is coming off of the top. So we're going to take our needle through the bottom part, or the bottom side, and pull, and that gives us another column of beads. So we're going to take our needle down through that column since we're coming out of the top, and we're going to go back to our first color, pick up 2 of those. Our thread is coming out of the bottom, so we are going to take our needle through the top, and then up through that last column, and repeat that one more time. So 2 of our first color, going up through our beads as our thread is exiting the top, and then we are going to take our needle down through the last column of beads here, just like that. So we have, just pull that tight, we have our columns of beads here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 columns, each with 2 rows of beads. And we need to be adding to our beadwork from the top, which is up here. However, our thread is coming out of the bottom along with our tail thread. So what we need to do in order to get to the top of our beadwork is to make a little turnaround step. So we're going to take our needle through that bottom left bead, the one to the left of where we're exiting. We're going to come out of there. And then we're going to take our needle up through that top right bead. And there we go. Our thread is perfectly in position at the end of our row, at the end and at the top of our row, so that we can continue to add beads now in the herringbone style. And I do apologize for the hammering if you can hear it in the background. One of my neighbors decided they're going to start construction as soon as I decided to record. So to start our herringbone, we're going to pick up 2 of our first color of beads, and we are going to go down through just that top bead on the to the left of where we're coming out of. And when you pull that, your beads will form the characteristic V that is herringbone, or that is the signature of herringbone stitch. And if you may need to kind of push them into place if it doesn't happen the first time, that's just fine. So now we're going to take our needle up through that next bead to the left of where we're coming out of. And now we're going to pick up 2 of our second color, and we're going to go down through that bead to the left of where we're coming out of. Oops. Right, so that's what we have now. Again, that characteristic V shape. Now we're going to take our needle up through the next bead to the left. So just working your way in one direction. And when you've got that out of there, we're going to pick up 2 of our first color, and we're going to go down through that last bead on the left. So it's a little difficult to hold it and be able to show you at the same time, so I'm just going to lay it down. So you can see what we have here, and our thread is coming out of this middle bead here to the left. But again, it's on the bottom and we need to add beads up here. So we're going to do that same turnaround step that we did before. We're going to go through this bead directly to the right of where we're coming out of. And then we're going to come up out of the bead at the very top at the edge of our beadwork, which puts us where we need to be to continue adding beads. So there we go. So we're going to repeat that again. We're going to pick up 2 of our first color, purple, and we're going to go down through that next bead to the right. Then we're going to come up through the next bead, and again we're just working in one direction. And we're going to pick up 2 of our second color, and we're going to take our needle down through that top bead to the right, and again just keep working your beads into that V shape. If you're not doing it on their own, it will come together as you work, so there's no need to worry too much. We're going to continue up through our next bead, pick up 2 of our purple, and we're going to go down through that last bead in the row. So as we keep working, we are going to keep getting this V shape. You can see it starting to develop here, and we're going to create this striped pattern here. So our thread is coming out of that bead there at the bottom. We're going to take our needle up through the one to the left of it. So we're coming out of there, we've gone directly across to the left, and we're coming up through that next bead. Gonna pull our thread through, and now we're going to take our needle through that bead to the left. So our needle is coming out exactly where we need it to be. Okay, and from here we pick up our 2 beads, our first color, and we go down through just that one and up through the next one and add our beads, and continue just like that. And when I've gotten a little bit more done, I'll come back and show you what I've got. Okay guys, I have gotten a decent length of my herringbone stitch here, and you can see that characteristic V shape that I was talking about. Very graceful, and I'm just going to show you how to end this off. So when you get to your last row, you'll realize that those last few beads are not connected, because as you've been going along, you've been connecting the very top row when you add a new row. But right here we still got, you know, they're saying hello to you. So we're coming out. I made my turnaround already, and I'm coming out of that top bead here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, without adding any beads, go down through that very next bead, and I'm going to go up through the one next to it. So we're going to continue as if we're adding a new row of beads, but we're not. So you go down through that next one, up through the last one, sorry, not the last one, the one after that, and then down through that very last one. And when you pull everything together, you realize that you have thread now connecting your last row of beads here, and they're no longer able to wave at you. So there are several ways that you can end this. If you're making a bracelet, you can go back through the beads and maybe reinforce that very last row, and then maybe add a couple jump rings onto the thread in between the beads and add a multi-strand clasp. That way you can stitch towards the center of your beadwork and add a button clasp, and then simply create a loop on the other side to go around the button. So that would be a simple way to do it as well. So lots of options that you can do. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe to my channel if you're new here, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.